Talk to any fisherman, they'll say there's nothing better than bringing home lots of fish after a hard day of fishing out on the lakes. And today for our behind the scenes series, we're out at the New London hatchery here, and we're going to show you what it takes to help fill those lakes with lots of fish for your enjoyment when you're sitting there casting your line. Consider them nature's middleman when it comes to making sure area lakes are stocked with fish.
The percentage of hatch in nature is very low. I've heard numbers anywhere from 3 to 5%. And last year, the eggs that we took back and hatched at the hatchery, we had about 65 to 70% hatch, in that range.
Fisheries technician Barry Flanders has been working with the DNR for 30 years, collecting fish for the hatchery.
Part of the reason we do it is to keep the same genetics in this lake that we've had for quite a few years, and seems to do pretty well.
Early in spring, crews set out on the lakes checking nets and collecting a small percentage of fish ready to spawn.
And what we're looking for is the females if they're ripe. In other words, if they're ready to give their eggs right at the time. Those are the only ones we take back. If they're not quite ready, we put them back in the lake. And the males are pretty easily identified, and we usually keep 2 males to every female for spawning purposes.
When the crews have their limit, the fish are loaded in the trucks and brought back to the hatchery, and the eggs collected to fertilize.
And we squeeze the belly gently, and then the eggs will flow into a dry pan, and then we after we do that for 2 or 3 females, then we take the males and do the same thing.
The fertilized eggs are then mixed in a clay solution before they are put into trays overnight, where hatchery manager Jeff Tellox says they go through a process called water hardening.
But if we let them water harden for several hours, they absorb the water, they become tough, and then we can handle them without damaging them.
The eggs are then taken from the trays, disinfected, and put into containers to hatch.
We soak them in these buckets with the iodine for about 10 minutes. We rinse them, and then we can put them on the battery.
After a few weeks in incubation, the eggs start to hatch, which Flanders says the fish are then brought back to the lake or divided into other lakes.
And we'll bring 10% of what we take from this lake directly back to the lake. And it helps us with other area lakes that don't have natural reproduction. We're able to stock walleyes in those.
Reporting from Spicer, Alex Wykowski, WJON News.